What's up, crypto gang? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency education. And if you're brand new here, we do a giveaway at the beginning of every single episode. And today's winner is Renal Renage. Thanks so much for commenting on the previous video, Renal. I just sent you some crypto. Also, if you guys are brand new here, like the video. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Don't forget to subscribe and comment with your wallet address, something about the video, for a chance to win. Also, if you're new here, I don't always have a mustache. This is just a look that I'm trying to rock with the kitty t-shirt real quick for this exclusive interview with John McAfee today. This is not a sponsored interview or anything like that. I wanted to get in touch with John McAfee and talk to him about, his thoughts on sovereignty, on control, governments, and things like that. And he really does a great job of talking about his background and the things that he really believes in. And he's also drinking out of either a wine bottle or a whiskey bottle the entire interview, which is pretty fantastic to watch. So without further ado, let's dive right into my interview with John McAfee, the man himself. What's up, guys? I am here with the legendary John McAfee. How you doing, John?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Steve.
Excellent, excellent. So I've done a lot of research and been a fan of yours for a while, and you talk a lot about control and freedom and things like that. So as somebody with a traditional background in economics, I really just wanted to talk a little bit about, your perspective, with this new news from the Fed lowering interest rates 50 basis points. First, what's your background, and tell us a little bit about, what brought you to cryptocurrency?
Well, I think my entire background in computer security, the architecture, fundamental concept of the blockchain is one of the biggest technological breakthroughs in the entire field of computer security. So that at first, but then the promise of cryptocurrency and how cryptocurrency is where the true power is to free us from, and you may not think you're a slave. That's your business. If you're happy for someone else owning the currency that you have to have in order to pay your rent, buy food, send your kids to school, then, well, if you're happy with that, you don't want to listen to me, I promise you, because I have nothing for you. If, on the other hand, you're unhappy with that, then there are communities of tens of thousands of us now that don't touch anything except crypto, which is untouchable. We pay for each other's services and products with crypto. End of story. Mm-hmm. And it has been thriving. And if there's anybody free on this planet, it is us. Even though I and my wife are in hiding from multiple governments for my views and publicly stated statements on things like, you don't want to pay taxes, privacy coins, and distributed exchanges. Don't pay them. Yes, so I broke the law by encouraging someone else to break the law. But not paying taxes is not illegal, people. Tax fraud is illegal. Lying on your tax return is illegal. But not saying anything at all is not illegal. Now, the IRS can come and take your stuff if they can find your stuff. They have the right to do that. I'm not paying taxes. All right, we're taking your stuff. That's been the war since day one. If your stuff is all in crypto, where's your stuff? You see any stuff? I got no banks, but we don't, by the way, we don't use banks. We got no credit cards. We don't touch. We live and exist on crypto in this community. So join us and free yourself for the first time from financial slavery and see what that feels like. Because if you are financially enslaved, you can be free in no other part of your life.
Yeah.
Next question.
And when I lived in San Francisco in 2014, there were like a handful of people that I knew that were buying gift cards with Bitcoin and using that to transact before a lot of these concepts were out there of fully living in crypto. So it was exciting to see.
Right.
But
we could not have done that with Bitcoin, for example, or even Ethereum, because there's no privacy with either. I mean, anybody can track anybody. I mean, yes, you got the convenience and power of crypto, but you have an open window into every transaction. Nobody uses that. Most of the people use Monero or Apollo. Privacy coins that can't be traced, tracked ever under any circumstances. It's like a Swiss bank account. Used to be, only every single user has their own Swiss bank account in their heads. And if you never speak it, write it down, nobody can ever take it from you.
Yeah.
Or know what's in there except you.
Yeah.
Good Lord, people. And what are people doing with it? They're investing, trying to make a quick buck. I'm sorry. You unlucky people who have missed an opportunity. Someone gave you a golden key to unlock the cage of your slavery, and instead you chose to scratch your ass with it. It's okay. Play the market, but why not just go to Las Vegas and bet it all on red or black? Same thing. No, people, this is not an investment opportunity or a safe haven for money. No, it's a door to your freedom, people. Do you realize how free we feel having to answer to no one when we transact business and send value to and from one another? You have no idea, people, knowing that no one will ever know that transaction unless one of the two of you reveal it. And unless you write that transaction down, it's gone and nothing to reveal. Do you understand? The beauty of this. Yeah. So, no, Bitcoin, no, Ethereum, no, the old tech. However, they opened the door to a new world, sort of a crude, taking an axe and chopping a hole in the wall and going, oh my God, look what's out there. And then out there you began to build beautiful, technologically based systems that can, and I hope will, free us for the first time as a people, to free us from ourselves, to free us from the bad aspects of us. I mean, we're all loving and kind, generous and compassionate, and we're also all jealous, fearful, greedy sometimes, gluttonous, lustful. Please, people, we're a mixed bag. Now, we've been fighting that division between us and among us since we crawled out of caves and began to associate with one another. This is the first technology ever that did not come from a power like a government, a major corporation, a general. No, this is open source code, all of it. It belongs to all of us. Please, God, people, stop this nonsense of, I want to get rich quick. Who cares how rich you are if you're still a slave?
So you came out recently with the McAfee Dex, and for someone that's brand new to the space, listening in or watching on YouTube, what is a Dex, and how can you describe it, of what you guys are trying to accomplish?
Okay. Now, the fundamental mechanism of exchange in a purely electronic world has to be a purely electronic exchange. Okay. Now, every exchange up to now that actually functions was a centralized exchange. No one knew how to do it any other way. Binance and so on. Well, that's perfect. They function. But here's the problem. As governments like China, the first one to do so, began to see the threat from cryptocurrency 2 years ago, with a swoop of a push of a button, shut down every exchange in China. How'd they do that? They all had addresses. They all had servers, places of business, employees. You could have shut it down a million ways, turning electricity off to the building. Who cares? A distributed exchange exists nowhere in space. It is a fluid, um, ever moving entity that resides nowhere at any given time. I mean, maybe for a few seconds it resides partly in Russia, Tierra del Fuego, Argentina, and Canada. But if anything happens, or if a threat or something, it'll shift itself and it'll exist somewhere else. Do you understand? It can't be killed, it can't be stopped, and it can't ever be shut down. And the beauty of what we did with the McAfee Dex, and listen, we're in beta still. I know we've been in beta 4 months. That's a long time. It might be 4 years, people. We are attacking something that has never truly been tackled. A completely distributed exchange and a completely decentralized, two totally different things. The decentralized part, and that's functioning perfectly, is that we can't do anything. I can't change it. I can't ever shut it down myself. I can't mess with it. It's there in logic on the blockchain for everybody to see the openness of what we created, while at the same time shielding you, the user. Do you understand? We are the open gate. You can all see we're doing jack shit. We're not taking anything. We're not messing with anything because we are completely transparent. So there's nothing to trust, because what's there we can't ever change, and no one in the world has the power to. The risk we took was, what if we fucked up? Fortunately, we did not. Because if we had fucked up, the fuck up would be there forever and no one would use it. No, it works. The way we did the logic was smart contracts on the blockchains. So all the logic is fixed forever in time, unchangeable. There's the beauty. So no one can shut us down. Now, on the other side, we take no information. We don't ask for a document, a photograph, an email address, IP, nothing. There's nothing to store. We're just a sluice gate now. You just rush through like water. Nothing's left. We take no information. So there's no anti-money laundering. There's no know your customer, because we don't know who the fuck our customers are. And all the transactions, if you use privacy coins, nobody even knows what the transaction was. Do you see the power of privacy coins and distributed exchanges?
Mm-hmm.
Using these two tools, which now belong to the people. Everything I have done is an open source, available for the world to look at every single instruction in the logic. Please, people, this is the beauty of what's happening. No one can hide anything anymore, like the Pentagon. No, you can't see what's happening in our program. Or Apple going, no, I've got a new product coming out that's trying to compete with Samsung, and Samsung going, everybody's just getting greedy and trying to make money and get power. No, that shit's going away, people. That is going away fast. And what's left over is whatever happens once privacy of all of your acts, all of your finances, all of your writings and thoughts are yours and yours alone. And should you owe no government a piece of your sweat of the brow, your work, your money. For 1913, they got along fine without it. If you're worried about who's going to pay, look it up, people. We were the most powerful industrial nation on earth, and we had no tax. Please. Governments used to have to fund themselves. If they couldn't, what sort of business people are you? We give you an office and telephone, what, you can't make money? Get something from Russia? No, please, this is what they used to do. Governments were businesses not to prey on the citizens, but to make some friggin' money. That was half of their job. Yes. And before I get bitter, what is the next question, my friend?
So for somebody who's unfamiliar with the space, if they're brand new, learning about the McAfee Dex, and they're interested in storage and things like that, what do you recommend for someone that's, just
Good God.
experimenting around? And
If you're a beginner, don't go anywhere near my Dex. I mean, this is, first of all, it's in beta. For example, I think we're the first people to actually put Bitcoin on a Dex cross-chain with other blockchains, which we've done this week. We've got Bitcoin, every Ethereum coin, ERC20s all the way to ERC1440s. We've got Tron, Binance. We're going to be adding EOS and NEO. And by summer, I think we'll have everybody. But not now, good God, if you're a beginner, go someplace which everybody knows, all right, and has been used. No, please, God, stay away from my stuff. That's the advice I would give you. How did beginners get into the McAfee Dex? Please, God, don't. You don't want the headache, and neither do we.
So outside of the Dex, if someone was listening in for the first time and they were learning about crypto, what would you recommend for storage-wise for someone that's brand new to the space?
Storage?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Storage of their Bitcoin or their cryptocurrency in general.
Well, it depends entirely on what you do. I mean, if you put $50 in, there is no sense in paying $500 to secure your wallet. So leave it on your phone. Download a free wallet of whatever coin it is that you're interested in, because there's one for every coin, thousands of them, unfortunately. And keep it on your phone. If you're putting $500 a month in for retirement, no, please God, then spend $500 to get an offline storage wallet like BitFi or who knows, the Trezor, and learn of everything about it before you even begin to put money in it. I say learn everything about it. I'm simply going to spend weeks if you're going to be putting $500 a month into crypto. Otherwise, you're going to be a really unhappy camper when you go, I didn't know it worked like that. Well, then, if you didn't know it worked like that, why were you fucking around with it? That would be my answer.
Got it. So I remember, I think it was early last year, you said that you weren't going to endorse projects anymore or promote them.
And I have not.
Yeah. What projects are you, I guess, open source projects that you're excited about or contributing to?
That would be promoting a product. You know it, my friend. I'm sorry, I cannot do that. I'll tell you about the stuff I'm building. Is that self-promotion? Everybody's self-promoted, yeah. But even then, I'm honest about it. I don't want new users, please God. So, yeah, I mean, no, I can't say something. I'm sorry, everybody wants me to, because people are waiting. Hey, bring back the coin of the day and stuff like that. It's never coming, folks. It's never coming.
So what are you working on then? In addition to the Dex, what are you working on now?
Yeah, I wish I could tell you at this moment, but keep in mind, I'm playfully in the presidential race, and I'm in there playfully for one and one reason only. I'm coming out with a brand new blockchain-based, not just voting system, but actual system of governance where we, the people, even if we do pay taxes, okay, let's agree to pay them, but let's see where it's going and who's spending it. And a trivial way of implementing that nationwide, I'll be running it on servers around the world in simulation mode. And that is coming, ladies and gentlemen, and it will revolutionize what you think is. And it'll make you understand that until we have a blockchain-based voting system, there will always be voting fraud. And who cares who you vote for if your vote does not matter? Do you understand? The the seriousness of what I'm trying to address here.
Mhm.
Okay, one more question, my friend.
Got it. So probably the most controversial aspect was the Bitcoin prediction, where the media kind of moved it around a little bit as to what your prediction was, dates, what you were going to do. But can you share a little bit about that? Like what your...
Please, I mean, listen, half of what I do is satire, all right? Make fun of the absurdity of things, okay? You know, just before I did that prediction, I did a tweet, which is my furthest running tweet, hundreds of thousands of likes, and about whale fucking. And because I was just angry at everybody going, this is consensual, that's not consensual, this is consensual. And someone has said, sex with animals is not consensual. And so I did a tweet, I can't remember what it was, like, enough of this whale fucking is non-consensual bullshit. A humpback whale, 70,000 pounds, 50 feet long, can dive to half a mile and crush a ship with a single swipe of its tail. Now, if a human manages to fuck one, then you damn well better believe it's consensual. I did that just to make fun of the absurdity. Well, I got more views and likes than anything I've ever done. My next thing, a week later, Bitcoin maximalists are going, oh, Bitcoin is the thing, it's the future, and everybody with a common sense and 3 brain cells know it's the oldest and most useless technology. I mean, do you realize how hard it was to put this cranky old Model T onto the fucking freeway and make it work without being crushed by all the real cars and trucks that are out there? Things with smart contracts, distributed applications, privacy, none of which Bitcoin knows what to do. It's oh, privacy, what's that? Oh, and so you got to protect it from the reality of the world that it finds itself in. It's freaky. And so those in the know understand it's going to zero. So I go, I'm going to do a tweet. It's going to go to $1 million. I bet you someone will fucking believe it. Now, if you did 30 seconds worth of effort, like multiply 1 million times 21 million coins, you get a number greater than the gross domestic product of the entire continent of North America, please. The top 50 companies in the world don't have that much. So Bitcoin sure isn't. But when people started to believe it, I made sure I got on podcasts to explain why. I guarantee it's going to be $1 million. How did you do it? I use point set topology. I'm a math whiz, so you can check it out. I'm actually an honorary PhD in mathematics, and I use point set topology. It is the newest science for predicting financial futures. Well, please God, look it up. Point set topology. You out there now with nothing to do, Google it. It has to do with the shape of fucking physical surfaces. Now, please, all you had to do was 2 things: multiply 1 million times 21 million, and Google points. People still believed it. I was making fun of the absurdity of people saying Bitcoin's the way it's going. There are so many sheep in this world that just don't want to sit down and turn their brains on, because it takes energy away from their stomachs or their genitals or something, because few do it anymore. All right. Thank you so much. That was it.
Cool.
And we have to run.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, John, and appreciate everything you're working on.
All right. Bye-bye.
That is it for my interview with John McAfee. Hope you guys like it. If you did, slap a like on the video. It really helps the channel, and YouTube recommends the video to a lot of other people as well when you like the video. So definitely slap that like to show the support. Don't forget to leave a comment with your wallet address, something about the video, for a chance to win some crypto. And that is it for this episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency education. And I will see you guys on the next episode.